Imagine you're sitting at 35,000 feet. You feel a sudden, violent jolt, and the side of the airplane, a solid piece of fuselage, simply vanishes into thin air. This isn't a scene from a disaster movie. It's what happened to Alaska Airlines Flight 1282. In that moment, the world realized that the company we've trusted for a century wasn't just building planes anymore. They were building traps. Two companies make almost every commercial airplane on Earth. One of them just had its planes falling out of the sky, its stock price collapse, and its CEO dragged before Congress to explain why their quality control looks like a high school shop project. The other just posted the most profitable year in its history, with a backlog of orders that stretches into the next decade. They used to be equals. They used to be the gold standard. But one of them decided that engineering excellence was too expensive, and the other decided to wait for them to fail. By the end of this video, you'll understand the dividend trap, the specific corporate decision that effectively committed commercial suicide. Boeing didn't always have a soul for sale. For decades, they were an engineering firm that happened to make money. If an engineer said a part wasn't ready, the plane didn't fly, period. But in 1997, everything changed. Boeing merged with McDonnell Douglas. On paper, it was a business masterstroke. In reality, it was a reverse takeover, where the bean counters from the failing company took over the culture of the successful one. While Boeing's new leadership moved their headquarters to Chicago, thousands of miles away from their actual factories, to focus on stock prices, Airbus was doing something boring. They were focused on the planes. Airbus is a messy, multinational European conglomerate that should have failed by design, but because they were constantly the underdog, they couldn't afford to be sloppy. While Boeing was busy cutting costs, Airbus was busy building the A321neo, the plane that would eventually eat Boeing's lunch. If you've flown recently, look at the safety card in your seat pocket. If it says Airbus, you're flying on a plane designed to win. If it says Boeing, you're flying on a plane designed to satisfy a shareholder. Drop a comment below. Boeing or Airbus, which one do you feel safer on right now? Here is the invisible consequence that nobody talks about. When Airbus released their fuel-efficient Neo series, Boeing panicked. They didn't have a new plane ready because they'd stopped investing in research and development years prior. Instead of building a new aircraft from scratch, they took a 50-year-old design, the 737, and slapped massive modern engines on it. But the engines were too big. They physically didn't fit, so Boeing moved them forward and up, which changed how the plane handled in the air. Instead of retraining pilots, which is expensive, they wrote a secret line of code called MCAS to fix the handling automatically. They didn't even tell the pilots the software existed. We all know what happened next. 2 planes in the dirt and 346 people gone. Not because of a mechanical failure, but by design. Boeing sold its engineering soul for a shortcut, and Airbus was right there to pick up the pieces. Between 2014 and 2020, Boeing spent over $40 billion. They could have used that money to design 2 brand new state-of-the-art aircraft that would have kept them ahead of Airbus for 30 years. Instead, they spent almost every cent on stock buybacks. They literally gave the money to Wall Street to artificially pump their own stock price so executives could hit their bonuses. This is the dividend trap. While Boeing was gutting its factories and firing its most experienced inspectors to save a buck, Airbus was pouring billions into automation and fuel efficiency. Today, Airbus has a 62% market share in the most important category of aviation. Boeing isn't just falling behind, they are structurally incapable of catching up. They spent their future to buy a slightly better yesterday. The divergence between these two giants isn't just about aviation, it's a warning for the entire modern economy. It's what happens when we prioritize the spreadsheet over the machine. Airbus didn't win because they were geniuses. They won because they stayed focused on the one thing a plane company is supposed to do: build safe planes that fly. Boeing is currently under a microscope, with whistleblowers claiming that parts are being held together with extra force and safety checks are being skipped to meet delivery dates. The shadow of their $100 billion collapse is still growing. The question isn't whether Boeing will survive, it's whether we can ever trust the engineering soul of a company that proved it has a price tag. If you want to understand the next giant corporate empire that's secretly rotting from the inside, you need to subscribe to Billion Lifelines right now. We decode the thin line between survival and commercial suicide. To see how another giant sold its soul for a lie, watch our deep dive on the Volkswagen scandal right here.